Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. It is December 24th, so I guess Christmas Eve. But anyway, I just wanted to wish everybody a happy holiday. It has been a phenomenal year, and 2024 already looks super duper duper uber promising. So I'm hoping and wishing blessings for everybody out there. But this video is specifically about the accomplishments, looking back at Wing Chun Science. I started Wing Chun Science about almost 20 years ago. Oh, maybe beyond 20 years ago, because my son is now 23. And at the time, it was so weird. It's like you have the Wing Chun community who was hating on me for putting Wing Chun out there that with a different flavor, with a different sauce. And then you had the mixed martial arts and all of the other, martial arts, I should just say in general, looking at me and saying, what is Wing Chun, and is Wing Chun even, viable? Is it usable? And so, you get this backlash from everybody. But let's fast forward, 23 years later. I'm very grateful that I was able to be the premier pioneer of not only Wing Chun Science, Wing Chun inside mixed martial arts, but Wing Chun as a real viable combative form of martial arts. The way that I teach it, if anybody knows me or anybody's trained with me or anybody has heard of me, the way that I teach Wing Chun, and it's the way I've been doing it forever, it's the way that my father taught me. It's all about combat. Yes. Does it have its soft side? Yes. Does it have its just energy flow side? Yes. Does it have, yes, all that. But it has, like anything else, its combative side. And that's the side that I chose to focus and spend all of my time developing. So if you look at our mixed martial arts, if you go to the school in Tampa, you'll see that element of combat is definitely inside of our Wing Chun. So I would say actually the opposite, that has the element of Wing Chun inside of it, because Wing Chun is the catalyst of everything that I teach, and it's definitely the thing that drives what it is we try to aspire to be. So basically this video, I want to give a shout out to, and I'm not going to give specific names because you know who you are, but a shout out to those who have stood in there, hung in with me to make Wing Chun Science the name that it is and the art that it is. For all of the doubters and the haters, 23 years later, I'm sorry, Charlie, we're not going anywhere. And as a matter of fact, I'm starting to see a lot of the people who hated it, a lot of people who didn't believe, a lot of the people who were trepidatious, scared of saying that they do Wing Chun for combat. And it's just beautiful seeing everybody come out of the woodwork now and knowing that, listen, here's one thing I just wanted to say. I think I've said this before in other videos. Wing Chun in itself is not the end all be all. Okay, I just want to let you know that. Okay, but just like jujitsu is not the end all be all, just like grappling, wrestling, taekwondo is not the end all be all. There is no end all be all. You are that. So Wing Chun is just a super tool that it just so happens that I've been doing my whole life, and I've been teaching for almost half my life. So I just want to let you guys know Wing Chun is not the end all be all, but it's a super tool. So, before anyone goes crazy and says like, oh, I've seen Wing Chun in practice and it doesn't do, well, then you just seen the wrong people do it. And to be honest with you, there are certain drills, actually there's certain techniques in other arts that don't work on everybody. I hate to bust your bubble. There are other techniques in other arts that just don't work on everybody. Why? Because we're individuals. So what I offer should have nothing to do with what you're doing. If you're happy doing what you do, awesome, phenomenal. But, when you reach my age, you get to learn that you can put all of these other martial arts together. And as an individual, the person who's actually going to execute, you can make all of the arts work for you. So the way I like to look at it is just a bag of tools. You got a screwdriver, you got a hammer, you got a saw, you got, whatever, measuring tape. And every tool serves its purpose. And Wing Chun is just one of those tools. And it just so happens that it could turn things to work for you. I can use a screwdriver to screw something. I can turn around with the butt of it and I can hammer something in. I can stab you in the eyeball with it. I can crack your head with it. And I can shred your face with it. So the screwdriver in itself is a tool. The mindset of how you use it and what you use it for is a different thing. And I won't belabor the point, but I always say that the mindset is ultimately the thing that we have to change. So for those people who are small-minded and think that their art is the end-all be-all, hey, I mean, kudos to you. That's good. If that's the capacity that your brain could carry, is that little thought of that's it, then sweet. So I don't claim that Wing Chun is everything, but I claim that I could put Wing Chun in everything. So at the end of the day, I'm just super duper happy that as we approach the end of the year, looking back and just seeing all of the people who used to be ashamed of using Wing Chun, who used to be ashamed of even associating with me as someone who calls or claims themselves to be a Wing Chuner. Now I'm seeing them, putting their videos out there and doing it. So I'm glad I was an inspiration, and I'm glad that 23 years later that everybody finally joined the bandwagon, and they're not scared to show that Wing Chun can be a viable source of combat fighting and can be inculcated into what you currently have. So kudos to me and kudos to the people who have stuck by me. So there are a few people that have stuck by me for many years. I'll tag you, but I'm not going to mention it here because I don't want any problems with anybody. Why didn't you talk about me? So, but you know who you are. You hung in there. You stuck there. You saw the blossom, and you stuck with my whole mindset and what we do to train for combat. And I'm grateful for you. I'm really grateful for you. So at the end of the day, guys, listen, choose your weapon. Choose your weapon. A knife is a weapon, the gun is a weapon, and a hammer can be a weapon. And, take the mindset of what it is that the way I teach Wing Chun and how it's, like I said, inculcated into our martial arts as a whole. And I would just say stop by the gym in Tampa and get a lesson or two and then see how we actually implement it. All right, so listen, Merry Christmas, and if I don't hear from you again, Happy New Year. But I'm super duper proud of me and the people who have been around me for bringing Wing Chun science to fruition and staying in there for over 23 years. And of course, a massive shout out to my father, who is my teacher, my Sifu, or sensei or coach, whatever it is that you want to call it, but he's my father, who has taught me the art, but more than just the art, the application of its combat essence for survival in the street. And it has done me wonders, not only in the street, but mostly, believe it or not, and primarily in the professional world and just interacting with people in general. So thank you, Dad. I appreciate it. Okay, guys, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Peace.